They call me Malukula. Makebi Zulu breaks silence on Lungu, lies and Coffin politics. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. Well. What a week it's been, hasn't it? We've had our share of drama across the continent, but nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the storm brewing in Zambia's political corridors. Today, we bring you a story that has gripped a nation, divided a political party, and turned a funeral into the most controversial campaign launch in Zambian history. Picture this: a former president lies in a South African mortuary, 5 months after his death. His body, frozen in limbo. His legacy, weaponized for political gain. His trusted lawyer and family spokesman, now a presidential candidate, accused of turning grief into ambition. They call him Malukula, the Undertaker, a nickname that has become both an insult and an identity. But who is Makebi Zulu, really? Is he a loyal defender of Edgar Lungu's legacy, fighting for a dignified burial against a vengeful government? Or is he a calculating politician who saw an opportunity in a coffin? Did he manipulate a grieving widow? Did he exploit a nation's mourning to position himself as the heir to a throne built on nostalgia and resentment? How does a man campaign for the presidency while his political father's body remains unburied across borders? What does it mean when your most powerful political capital is not a manifesto, but a mortuary? And can you win an election by promising to bury the past, literally? These are the questions haunting Zambia's Patriotic Front as it prepares for what may be the most consequential leadership race in its history. The answers, as you'll soon discover, are as complex as they are controversial. Join us as we explore the meaning behind the coffin politics, the growing PF divisions, and what this could mean for the road to 2026. Watch till the end for in-depth analysis, exclusive commentary. The revelation came to light on November 10, 2025, when Makebi Zulu appeared on Live, a popular Zambian political talk show, to address mounting criticism about his role in both the delayed burial of former President Edgar Lungu and his own presidential ambitions. The controversy began 5 months earlier. On June 5, 2025, Edgar Lungu, Zambia's 6th Republican president, died in a South African hospital following post-surgery complications. He was 69 years old. What should have been a straightforward state funeral quickly descended into a bitter dispute between the Lungu family and the Zambian government led by President Hakainde Hichilema. At the center of this dispute stood Makebi Zulu, a prominent lawyer, former Eastern Province minister, and the family's chosen spokesman. From the very beginning, Zulu became the public face of the family's grievances, appearing on television, issuing statements, and even representing them in South African courts. The family's demand was unusual. They wanted President Hichilema to publicly declare he would not attend Lungu's funeral and instead send his vice president as a representative. Without this guarantee, they refused to repatriate the body from South Africa. The government pushed back, arguing that the delayed burial had nothing to do with respect and everything to do with politics. Tensions escalated. Legal proceedings were initiated, not by the family, as Zulu would later clarify, but by the Zambian government itself. The body remained in South Africa, preserved in cold storage, as the political temperature in Lusaka continued to rise. Then came the moment that changed everything. On November 9, 2025, dressed entirely in black, Makebi Zulu arrived at the PF Secretariat to file his nomination papers for the party's presidential race. It was not just an administrative act, it was political choreography. Surrounded by loyalists with raised fists, Zulu delivered a speech that tied his candidacy directly to Lungu's. Unburied remains. I am here as a candidate, he declared, hoping to participate in this race, not for selfish ambitions, but for purposes of uniting the party. We lost our president, President Edgar Lungu, and as a party, we desire that he be given a dignified burial. The symbolism was unmistakable. The message was clear. Makebi Zulu was running to restore honor to a fallen leader. But critics saw something else entirely: a political opportunist using a coffin as a campaign platform. When Makebi Zulu sat down for his interview on Live, he knew the questions were coming. The host wasted no time. Mr. Zulu, many people are saying you're using the burial impasse to advance your political career. What do you say to that? Zulu leaned forward, his voice measured but firm. The question of the burial of President Edgar Lungu is an issue for all of us, he began. We are not participating in the political process for purposes of disrespecting ECL. We are participating in this political process for purposes of honoring ECL, considering what he died for. He paused, then continued with rising emotion. He died so that we may restore democracy. He died so that we may restore the rule of law. He died so that we may restore the respect for institutions of governance. He died so that we may restore the issues of human rights. The host pressed further, but isn't it inappropriate to campaign while the man you claim to honor remains unburied? Zulu's response was sharp. Should we stop living? Should we stop participating in the democratic process because someone has passed on? That doesn't make sense. We honor the dead by continuing their mission, not by sitting idle. Then came the revelation that shocked many viewers. When asked about accusations that he had manipulated the burial negotiations, Zulu invoked his father's wisdom. My father once told me this. He says, slander is a tool for fools. That is to say, where a person loses an argument, they'll resort to slander. He paused dramatically, then added, I have been nicknamed Malukula. International Malukula. A slight smile crossed his face. But I wear it as a badge of honor. They can call me what they want. I know what I'm doing. But not everyone was convinced. When Zulu's nomination filing video circulated online, the comments section erupted with skepticism and outright hostility. One Facebook user, K, wrote, I was so sure you would say something about Edgar Lungu, especially that. Today marks exactly 5 months. Is this a sign that you have moved on? Another, Muten Dokani, asked bluntly, have you buried your boss already? Charles added, first of all, I respect your political opinion. Secondly, ain't you concerned about the body of ECL? Kindly finish the race of ECL before joining the political thing, with all due respect. The most damning comments simply repeated one word, Malukula. The nickname had gone viral, no longer just an insult, but a symbol of what many saw as political exploitation masquerading as loyalty. Even within PF circles, doubts emerged. Political analyst Chipoka was quoted in the Zambian Observer saying, popularity should come from hard work and service to the people, not microphones and funerals. The Makebi Zulu phenomenon has exposed deep fractures within Zambia's opposition politics and raised uncomfortable questions about grief, ambition, and political legitimacy. At the heart of the controversy lies a fundamental contradiction. Can you claim to honor a man while simultaneously using his unburied body as political capital? Political observers have identified 3 distinct interpretations of Zulu's actions. The loyalist interpretation. To his supporters, Makebi Zulu is a faithful defender standing against a vindictive government. They argue that President Hichilema's government has politicized what should have been a simple state funeral. The family's demand that Hichilema stay away, they say, stems from legitimate grievances, accusations of political persecution, asset freezing, and a campaign to erase Lungu's legacy. In this view, Zulu is doing exactly what a loyal lieutenant should do, fighting for his fallen leader's dignity while continuing the political mission. The opportunist interpretation. Critics see something far more cynical. They point to the timing of Zulu's presidential bid, launched precisely when emotions around Lungu's death were at their peak. They note that he has positioned himself as the only candidate capable of giving Lungu a dignified burial, effectively tying his political success to funeral rites. As one editorial in the Zambian Observer put it, he carried that theme all afternoon. This was a funeral vow turned into an election bid. The accusation goes deeper. Some insiders suggest Zulu may have deliberately prolonged the burial negotiations to maximize his political exposure. They question whether he truly represented the family's interests or shaped their demands to serve his presidential ambitions. One particularly harsh editorial asked, did he, under the guise of being the family's trusted lawyer, manipulate the situation to advance his presidential aspirations? The electoral reality. Beyond the moral arguments lies a stark political calculation. Zambia voted Edgar Lungu out of office by more than 1 million votes in 2021. The Lungu brand is, as one analyst put it, toxic in 4 critical voting blocks. southern, western, northwestern, and central provinces. These regions rejected Lungu in 3 consecutive electoral cycles. By tying his candidacy so completely to Lungu's legacy, Zulu may have inherited not just the former president's supporters, but also his electoral ceiling. The question becomes, can nostalgia for Lungu mobilize enough voters to overcome widespread rejection of his governance record? The answer, according to electoral analysts, is likely no. As the Zambian Observer editorial noted, their frustration is economic, not sentimental. Their grievances are about fuel, food prices, power shortages, and broken promises. They have nothing to return to in the Lungu era. There's also the question of organizational capacity. Unlike other PF presidential aspirants such as Given Labinda, Brian Mundable, and Emmanuel Mwamba, Zulu lacks a well-established political machine. He has media presence, but does he have district chairs, youth brigades, and provincial ground troops? As one critic put it, this is the illusion of prominence created by microphones rather than movement. Perhaps most troubling is what this saga reveals about Zambian politics more broadly. The late president's body has become, in the words of one journalist, both artifact and argument. It is no longer just the remains of a former leader, it is a political weapon, suspended between remembrance and mobilization. The delay has allowed grief to ferment into grievance, emotion to harden into ideology. For some PF supporters, the fight over burial has become proof that their leader is being denied dignity even in death. For others, it feels like political hostage-taking, a deliberate strategy to keep wounds fresh and supporters angry. So where does this leave us, viewers? We have a former president lying unburied in a foreign country. We have a family spokesperson turned presidential candidate who insists he's honoring a legacy while critics accuse him of exploiting a corpse. We have a political party fractured between memory and ambition, between those who want to return to power and those who simply want closure. And we have a nation watching, waiting, and asking, when does mourning end and manipulation begin? Makebi Zulu has broken his silence. He's embraced the nickname Malukula. He's declared his candidacy as a mission of honor. But whether Zambians see him as a loyal defender or a calculating opportunist may determine not just his political future, but the future of the Patriotic Front itself. Can you build a presidential campaign on a promise to bury the past? Can you win an election by positioning yourself as the guardian of grief? And ultimately, can a party that cannot resolve its own internal burial disputes convince a nation to trust it with power? These are questions only time, and Zambian voters, can answer. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of InspirAfrica Official. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Makebi Zulu is genuinely defending Edgar Lungu's legacy? Or is this coffin politics at its most calculated? Let's have that conversation. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter, more voices that need to be heard, and more truth that demands to be told. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, in African politics, the past is never really buried. Sometimes, it's not even in the ground. This is Nakash, signing off. Peace.